I think that there is a very real possibility that Safi's mom could be the killer in Life is Strange Double Exposure. And although this sounds absolutely insane, hear me out. I'm going to do my best to execute this video with how little information we have on Yasmin. And I recognize that at any point Deck 9 could throw a wrench into this theory, but even so, I feel like Caledon's first female president may also be the perfect antagonist. Ever since the announced trailer, I've had an odd feeling about Safi's mom, and it's mainly due to this scene right here.
I don't know who I can trust, or who trusts me.
I don't know who I can trust, as Yasmin turns around to look at her, or who trusts me, and it shows the interrogation scene with Alderman. I immediately picked up on this detail, but dropped it after discovering that this lady was Safi's mom. It seemed a little obvious, and I took it as typical mysterious Life is Strange flair. But then the PAX gameplay came out, and something else came to light. In Max's phone, we get a brief look at the crosstalk profiles of many characters in the game, including Yasmin's. We can't see the full posts on her profile, but we can see the first sentence they begin with. The first post on Yasmin's profile is, "I understand many of you are curious about the recent, possibly murder on campus." And the second, "As some of you already know, the student we lost yesterday," and this probably ends with, "was my daughter." Now, I don't know about you guys, but this isn't the typical response I would expect from a mother who just lost her daughter. There's no soul there. And it's not that I'm expecting her to be sobbing all over her social media feed as the face of Caledon University, but it still seems cold and almost indifferent. It's giving just another Tuesday. It's giving Typhon mining energy. I sat with this for quite some time before making this video, and I began to look deeper into the marketing for Double Exposure to see if I could find any other details on this lady, which was quite difficult since she's had like 4 seconds of screen time, but I did notice some similarities between the marketing for Double Exposure and True Colors. The Welcome to Caledon University trailer and the Welcome to Haven Springs trailer have a lot in common. They showcase the location that players will spend their time exploring, introducing landmarks and characters you can expect to meet. But what's worth mentioning is that in the Haven Springs trailer, the main antagonists are not exempt from being shown early. We can see that both Jed and Diane, the baddies of Life is Strange True Colors, are both in the Welcome to Haven Springs trailer. And this also goes for the True Colors announced trailer, which in the case of Double Exposure, Yasmin was featured in both of these as well. I then began to think, what if Life is Strange Double Exposure is a case of Occam's razor? In the sea of bizarre theories, what if the simplest explanation or most obvious suspect is correct? The villains of Life is Strange all tend to follow a pattern, at least thus far, meaning that there are certain characteristics that they all seem to have in common. They are typically figures of authority, spearheads, someone who is respected and well liked. Their status allows them access to resources, which is often used to cover up their misdeeds and keep them in a position of power. They are often close to the protagonist, to the point where you wouldn't expect them to do wrong. You trust them because they're on your side, right? A wolf in sheep's clothing. The only outlier to this is Life is Strange 2, where instead of a single antagonist, Sean and Daniel go up against a corrupt government. But Safi's mom fits the bill perfectly. The president of Caledon University, someone in a position of power with access to resources, someone who is highly respected, the mother of the student who was murdered, the one person out of everyone we've seen so far that you would never expect. But then there's the question, why would she kill her own daughter? Honestly, I don't know. Perhaps there's more to Safi's mom than we realize, and maybe Safi deviated from her mother's wishes and paid the ultimate price for it. We know that parent trauma is a super common theme in these games, whether it's loss, relationship strain, or neglect. Looking at you, Ryan and Vanessa Caulfield, but we've never had a parent completely turn on us before. The directors did say that Double Exposure was going to be much darker, and having a mother turn on her own daughter is about as dark as it gets. And And with how much of a presence Yasmin has had in the trailers, it does tell me that she's going to play an important role. In marketing, everything is deliberate. They are showing us Safi's mom multiple times, making sure that we're aware of her relationship with Safi, of her status at Caladon multiple times. If she was going to be some throwaway townie NPC that we only talk to once or twice for the sake of flavor, I don't think she'd have such a strong presence in the advertising. The only hole that I can find in this theory is that this is supposed to be a supernatural murder mystery, but I think it still stands. Yasmin doesn't seem like the type to get her own hands dirty, and as someone with a lot of power and resources, maybe it wasn't a coincidence that Safi left the entire building to take that call, that the call seemed to make her upset, nor that she seemed to have been possibly lured away. And if she actually did commit the murder on her own, if Safi's mom is corrupt, what does that make Safi? Is Caladon itself corrupt? And are there more than just two people involved? Are they being blackmailed? I think that there's a lot of cracks on the surface that we are yet to address. We could seriously fall down a rabbit hole here, but I just wanted to put the idea out there that there could be more at play. It wouldn't be the first time that we've had a plot revolving around dark family secrets, but instead of a crooked district attorney, we get the supernatural Caladon murder cult, if you will. Okay, I'm gonna stir the pot just a little bit more. If the president of Caladon University is the leader, both literally and hypothetically in the context of a possible campus cult, and if we take a look at Abraxas, and I won't go too much into detail on this because there is so much history and lore about this deity, but if I entertained the idea of Yasmin or someone on campus having powers, I'd start here. Abraxas in some texts is known to be associated with frogs. Bear with me. The frog has been long symbolized for its ability to exist in the realms of both water and land, to move between the below and above worlds. Frogs are often seen as a representation of the Greek god Hermes, who explored the boundaries between life and death, the natural and supernatural, the physical and metaphysical. The snake and rooster represent that same duality that can be found in these amphibians, their ability to traverse two separate worlds. If the killer can also jump between timelines, could the Abraxas Society be directly linked to the supernatural murder on campus? Could this be the source of power? Maybe in Double Exposure, it isn't the case of being someone, but rather something that we've never seen before. It's kind of strange, but so is the fact that there's a secret society on campus whose mascot is a very ancient rooster snake god. Abraxas encompasses all opposites, light and darkness, good and evil, creation and destruction, an entity that reflects the dual nature of existence. This could very well be much more than just an optional side quest. Okay, that's all I've got for this video. I'm gonna turn the conversation over to you guys. Do you think that there's any real possibility that we could have a killer mom on our hands? Or do you have another theory on who the killer might be in Life is Strange Double Exposure? With 5 weeks until the game drops and less than 20 days until early access for Ultimate Edition owners, it's definitely time to get those final theories in. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like to help support the channel and hitting subscribe for future Life is Strange content. When Double Exposure drops, I'll be on it like white on rice, so be sure to stay tuned. Also, we have unlocked memberships for the channel. If this is something you're interested in, and if you'd like to show further support and get access to special perks, you can check out the join button that's now available. You'll also get your very own moon badge and emotes, which are very cool, by the way. I also just want to say that I really appreciate the amount of support that you guys have shown on the videos and the channel. We have just reached 2,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing. Thank you. I love making these videos, and it's so cool that you guys enjoy them. There is a lot more Life is Strange content to come. These next few weeks are going to fly by. Double Exposure is on the horizon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.